Hello, hello, and good day, everyone! Welcome to Drakan Gates Glitch Tutorial episode 82, where we are going to be talking about a little bit more of the Bridal Hall, followed by having Arok being able to clip into multiple locations, as well as get into the Necropolis, finally! Man, it's like we've been waiting a long time to get to Stratos. Now we've been waiting a long time to get to to the Necropolis and be able to finish this playthrough finally. Okay, but with that out of the way, let's start things off about talking a little bit more about the Bridal Hall. In particular, let's talk about the death enchantment that we encounter here. The thing that when you go inside, if you wait long enough, it'll roll in the fog and Rin will then collapse onto the ground, sending her off to the Necropolis to be sacrificed to the Flesh Mage, and then, well, you know the rest. So what happens if we basically change what happens? With all the glitches and tricks that we know, what can we change about that? Well, let's go ahead and delve right into this. So let's talk about surviving the enchantment with the Game Shark. So with the Game Shark enabled, we will be able to survive this enchantment, and we'll be able to see where in the world we end up after the Flesh Mage's cutscene. Now, originally, I thought it was going to teleport me to the Flesh Mage's palace, but we actually arrive at the death map, and I'm at the base of where that lone hill to the south is, showcasing that, yes, we are indeed in the death map that we discussed back in episode 81 part 2. Well, just the last video, for most part, with my glitch tutorial. So I thought that the cutscene might have just been a nice little shortcut to the Necropolis, but no, it will warp you instead to the death map upon the cutscene's conclusion, just like the cutscene of Rin falling to her death in Stratos, in the sky of Stratos, warps you to the death map, which I call the death map. But of course, you can only arrive here in regards to just using the Game Shark in order to survive all the instant death that is located now to my north. But we're not going to head that way, because we are now going to talk about how we can actually avoid being warped to the death map upon the cutscene's conclusion of the Flesh Mage and Rin. So for all this to work out the way I want it to, along with doing other things, let me talk about the basic setup, which is basically we are going to ignore going into there to trigger his cutscene where the guy goes, wait, don't go in there, because we're going to need it for some other things. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead and just go and show you the route here. We'll go off to the right. Now look at how Rin's color changes here. When she changes into the dark color, she's connected to the Bridal Hall's lower level, the Bridal Hall's entrance hall lower level, and then if she's out here, she's connected to the land out here. So let's go ahead and get Rin back to being dark. This means we can do a Who Teleport to teleport down to the Bridal Hall's entrance hall lower level. Then, from here, we're going to do a Rin dash to dash onto the other side. Now we're going to need to load in the hallway, and we know that using the elevator will load in that hallway. So we're going to go ahead and call upon the elevator, which then we'll run to use the elevator. Then we're going to run in towards the main entrance here. Now once we're out here, we want to walk Rin until she turns into a bright color. Here we can do a teleport to land on top of the land. Up here, which then we will roll onto the roof, which will get us access to the rest that we need to do here. Because then we want to be able to trigger the enchantment and take it with us without deactivating the enchantment. So we're just going to run out to here. Now trigger the enchantment, run down to here so we don't activate the enchantment. Come on top of here, jump up to here, and then if she hasn't loaded in yet, we'll just turn Rin to load her in. And that's how we can bring the enchantment outside with us. Now let's talk about using Arok. what we want to do is not to park Arak too far away from the Bridal Hall. If we try to access Arak while he's too far away, it will just soft lock the game here. Yeah, when everything loads out and you try to access Arak, you'll just soft lock yourself. Luckily, you can load back to the save, but what we want to do is park Arak as close to the Bridal Hall's main entrance as possible. This allows us to easily access Arak and be able to access this cutscene animation so that we can just go ahead and not have to worry about dying at the hands of the Flesh Mage, as she will not be warped into the cutscene. Instead, it's just gonna be the sacrificial altar without Ren, or the mask apparently. Yeah, the mask is also gone in this scenario, though it will appear when the superficial Ren that is apparently there takes off the mask.
Come, my sweet bride. Come.
Man, that guy is delusional. I mean, he's insane, but now he's just seeing brides because Ren is actually not over there. She is on top of Arak, safe and sound, with the black screen. Now, the thing that's different about this black screen is the fact that we are still here in Stratos. We're not isolated in some death map that we access back over in episode 81 part 2. Here, we can go ahead and complete Stratos in total darkness.
Did somebody mention the door to darkness?
No, Mickey. I said total darkness, not door to darkness.
Did somebody mention the door to darkness?
I will not dignify that. In any case, here that's different from, we basically can do a blindfold run. But unlike what typically is done with a blindfold run, which either uses an actual blindfold or they unplug the video output, is that we actually have a compass, we have the map. The only thing that we're not able to tell is the fact that how high or low up Arak is, which I'm sure someone could make a mod in which we would be able to have that information, which would make this a lot more interesting. Because otherwise, when you're trying to do it with Arak, you're probably going to need to save and load the game to really get your bearings and make sure, am I too high up or am I too below? Am I below the island, above the island? Where the frick am I? But of course, I mean, it's not a true blindfold run. But this is something that's rather interesting, that to play this in this way, and using a compass, the map, and a way to kind of get your bearings straight. But if we were to do this with Rin alone, we wouldn't need the altitude information. In fact, the compass and the map would be all that we need. But there is a way to actually do that, a way to set that up to make that happen. I'll talk about that setup in a specific location that we're going to go off to, which is the Necropolis. There's a way to actually get Ren over there to the Necropolis with this black screen, and have the black screen happen only in the Necropolis section. But we'll talk more about that when we get to that point. But as of right now, there is another thing I want to talk about, which is probably one of the greatest background glitches that could have been. To bring the fog effect out and keep it, we're just going to have to do the same thing that we did before, but this time we don't have to go the long way around. We can just go to the main entrance, because we're not right now concerned about the dialogue with the guy at the entrance of the Bridal Hall. So what we want to do, and since we're working with the black screen here, we're going to go ahead, dismount, run up, and we're gonna do a Who turn to get Rin down underneath. Let's see, let's turn Rin around to face the direction I was in. Save the game. Since we're dealing with this black screen, I swear, it's very, unless you're trying to do a blind run, dealing with this black screen is very tedious. I wish there was a way to disable it. Oh, I didn't mean to go all the way down here. Crap. We'll just have to, oh, well, no, I already saved over the, dang it. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to do 2 saves, but I'm trying to keep my other saves available for future use for right now, so dealing with 1 save right now. All right, let's try this again. All right, okay, get into there. Okay, she's light now. Okay, I saw her skin turn to a brighter hue, so there we go. Save the game, and we should be right where we need to be. So what we're gonna do here is roll onto the hallway, and I want to run forward. I want you to listen. You see the sound of the whole effect, and the fog is now rolling in, even though we can't see it. But there is no chime of the bell. There is no death sound effect of Rin collapsing down onto her knees. Because we already triggered that. We already triggered the cutscene, so there is no death now when going through the, I mean, we still have to deal with the black screen, but at least Rin no longer will die going into the Bridal Hall. Now, let's go ahead and save the game. Down this way. Let's save the game. Okay. There we go. Get on Arak. And now we have... Let's see. Good, I have his movement and everything. Alright, now to show you guys a montage of the background glitch that we could have had, and I wish we could. If I could just disable this black screen, it would be absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the fog effect is absolutely incredible, and the fact that you can barely see in front of you makes me want to fly around in this fog very badly. I mean, we've all heard the saying, a fog so thick you can cut it with a knife. How about a fog so thick you can't even hear a sonic boom? That's right, Scooby-Doo. Whether it be firing fireballs or simply the flapping of wings, everything is drowned out once it enters the fog.
Where's the kaboom?
Heck, as you can see when Arak flies forward, his whole character model is swallowed up by the fog. This is just how intense this fog effect is, and it is a shame that the black screen ruins it. If anyone can make a mod where they only disable the generation of the black screen that follows a cutscene of Rin's death, I would be down to play it. Just so that this game could, in the words of Lu Bu from the Dynasty Warriors series, provide me with a decent challenge. Now that we know how Arak influences the whole death enchantment and the cutscene with the Flesh Mage, that basically Rin is able to stay here and not go over there and be killed. Now let's talk about how the guy outside the Bridal Hall can influence the death enchantment and the cutscene itself. So we went ahead and kept the dialogue of the cutscene where he says, "Wait, don't go in there," but you do not really need it. You can pretty much do roughly the same thing with the just normal dialogue. So I will show you guys in just a bit how to actually just do a quick way of getting this done without having to go all the way over there. To Who teleport, Rin climb up and over, and then go in to trigger the hallway, to then run up to here, Who turn, and then here we are. We can skip at least 2 of those steps. But I'll talk that in just a bit. I just want to show you the advantage of having that cutscene here. It's very small. Bringing back a useless glitch, which would have some nice implications of a way to get Rin to get out of said situation of facing a fate worse than death. So let's go ahead and do what we've done before. Roll out over here onto the roof. Then we'll go into here to trigger the enchantment. We'll then go down here. We can hear the enchantment roaring in. We then go up to here. We jump up to here. She turned invisible, so we'll turn this way to have her roll back in. Once when the fog rolls in, we run forward, trigger the cutscene, and then as soon as we got freedom of movement, it'll draw out our sword, and then we will commit the Rin Harakiri to save Rin from a fate worse than death. But as what you saw there, it is actually impossible to have Rin die going into the cutscene. Her death prior to this effect, or her transporting, or the cutscene, you'll see here is that there's a loading disc that appears up at top. So that is a separate thing, so any instance of death Rin happening before this cutscene will result in her just dying over at the Bridal Hall and never make it to here. Not that she wants to make it here in the first place. Now let's go ahead and take care of that cutscene. Now we don't need the cutscene itself anymore. And we're also going to take care of this dialogue because we also don't need this dialogue per se. Though it can be used, so let's go ahead and take care of the Djinn and Desert Lord so we can talk to the guy again. So now that we've dealt with the Djinn and the Desert Lord, we went ahead and activated the cutscene and all that. Now we're just reduced to his dialogue here that we can just talk here.
Don't go bothering Grotus. It'll only get you killed.
Or
I suggest you flee this place whilst you still can.
Because the reason being is that that's all we need. And what's going to happen is going to force us out of the conversation when we do the fog effect. Rolling in here. The thing is, when we're forced out of that cutscene, we will no longer be able to use the sword. When using dialogue and you're forced out of that by whatever means, you will not draw your sword and you will no longer be able to access the hot slot menu. That being said, we use the cutscene so that she would be able to draw her sword, so we have a little bit more options at our disposal what we want to do with Rin now that the impending doom is coming. And as well as show you guys that even if Rin were to die at the very last second, it still would have yielded no results of her going into the cutscene with the Flesh Mage as she's dead. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and show you guys basically what we can do in regards to just skipping the whole doing the Rin dash, the dash climb into here and whatnot and there. We're just going to go straight through the main entrance. Go right here, down below. Now that she was in a darker color, she's connected to this lower floor. Then we're gonna go up the elevator and basically do what we did before. Use the elevator to load in the hallway to then head out to then perform a Who teleport when she turns a lighter color. And then we roll out onto here. And then we can proceed on forward. Come up to here. And oh crap, I forgot. Arok! No, why? Well, maybe I'll be saved from this, maybe. Oh! She never got on top of Arok in time due to the animation cut. So she never got saved by Arok. She's now doomed. She is doomed. And let's see. Oh, wait, she's getting... Oh, wait, no, she actually did get saved in the end. She was there in both the cutscene and here getting on Arok. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, that's interesting. So we try to get on Arok during that whole sequence. Okay, I guess there was one more thing about Arok. All right, yeah. Getting on an invisible Arok while the enchantment is coming to get Rin will result in her going to there but then climbing onto Arok once it loads things back in. Very interesting. Okay, run back over to here. Jump up to here, turn so she's visible. Once when the fog is rolling in, talk to the guy. And then at the last possible when the thing fog rolls out, run in. And what should happen is that the fog effect will now overwrite the darkness background and it will start loading in. So instead, we're gonna have the fog in here instead of the darkness. And as a result, the Flesh Mage will be here in the white background. He's like a
zombie angel.
Thank you, random henchman. An apt description, mind you. Whether you call him Utaji the Flesh Mage or Utaji the Zombie Angel, we have a wonderful contrasting background now with the fog effect here. And if you stare at this still image for just a little longer, you'll find that you have an after image of the Flesh Mage inside your mind. Sorry, not sorry. One last thing about the fog effect is that if we load in from the title screen to the save to do the fog effect, forcing the game to load Stratos from scratch, we actually have a chance to encounter the fog effect already established in the cutscene with the Flesh Mage. And if we are even more lucky, you can have that fog effect be as thick as a triple thick milkshake from McDonald's. I'm not sure if this can be replicated via an emulator, given that this is most likely taking advantage of the PS2's processing power, but feel free to give it a try. Now, if we have the Bridal Hall unloaded, we can actually do a different variation of having Arok save us from the enchantment, save her from being transported. And what we're just going to do is simply flight dash forward, go over here, let go of circle, drop down, run up, and then climb onto Arok. And there, we can just go ahead and continue on forward and then survive the cutscene. Now, there is something very interesting in regards to the Flesh Mage in this cutscene. If we have Rin survive the cutscene and she's on Arok, well, we can save and load the game repeatedly until we get our bearings straight, and we can actually proceed on to the Flesh Mage's palace. Now, the recommended setup to do what I am about to do is basically bypassing to the ferry control room, get the guy to summon the ferry, to then get Arok onto the ferry, and then jump off and then proceed to mount onto Arok, activating the cutscene at the same time. Then now that we haven't had Rin go to the Necropolis' entrance, we are going to then fly up to the Bridal Hall to then do what we've done, is activate the fog effect and to get back onto Arok. If you do what I said, but activate the black screen first, well, it's doable. But it's going to be rather time consuming, given that you're now going to have to deal with a black screen when you're trying to get the ferry loaded in from the ferry control room. Now, when we teleport to the Necropolis and then approach the sacrificial altar, saving and loading the game reveals a character model of the Flesh Mage hovering stage right of the sacrificial altar. Yes, the cutscene spawned in the Flesh Mage, not unlike how in Shiverbane, the cutscene of Rin's capture and imprisonment spawned in a Halfman down in the trapdoor area. This character model is fully functional, but does not aggro until you have the audacity to attack or move in front of him. Now, going by the thumbnail of the video, we can generate multiple copies of the Flesh Mage at once, but we will talk more about that when we go to the Necropolis proper. For now, let's return and finish up what's left of the Bridal Hall. Now, before we start talking about Arok bypassing into the Bridal Hall, which we have covered from having Arok bypass into here from the Bridal Hall, there's still a couple things I need to talk about before we talk about other methods of bypassing into the Bridal Hall or the island itself, as well as talking about our bypassing into other places as well, and hopefully then we'll be finally moving on to the Necropolis. And the first thing we need to talk about before all that is this guy over here yet again. Hello, my friend. You seem to just be receiving so much abuse. Well, one of the things I notice is when I fire a fireball at him, he actually reacts to it. That means if he's scared, that also means he can definitely take damage. I mean, not everyone that can take damage gets scared, but this is a good telltale sign that he will take damage. So let me go park Arak somewhere where he's not going to kill anybody or have a good impact. I really don't want him causing any issues, though I probably could just leave him on an island and have him just be somewhere where he can't fly and come back here. But that'd be a lot of effort. I just need to showcase this a bit here. So let's go ahead and cheer him up.
Wait, don't go in there.
By having him do his job telling us not to go in there. Now,
You there?
on here, we're going to actually spawn in the enemies, which we will first deal with the Djinn, given that he won't actually come in here. All right, Desert Lord, do your worst. I have invincibility on, so to get the best effect from here, and so we are going to, hello, Desert Lord. I hope you do your orb attack. That does a lot of damage. Now, the thing is, this guy, I guess, has a lot of health. Okay, use a different attack. There we go. See? He actually takes damage. He actually flinches. Which also reminds me of some other person that we actually talked about earlier, Martis. Well, the thing is, we have a comment here from Arcane Knight discussing that, well, other than them falling down on the ground normally, there's some times that you encounter them becoming elongated, disfigured, and whatnot. So let's actually see that happen. Martis!
I need an example.
An example of what, Lord Freezer?
As you can see, having Martis die to the golem has a chance to have him do a human impression of the articular ligaments. His right shoulder, midsection, and left hand are stretched to their limits, with his thumb to middle finger being stretched away from the rest of the hand. This spaghettification is a common glitch that occurs in other games like Black Ops, Fallout, though more commonly this leads to the body both stretching and moving out of control, like my gameplay here with Assassin's Creed 4. However, not only does the body remain static, this form is consistent, as well as there appears to be no other variation of Martis' spaghettification form that I've been able to find thus far. Also, with my first save, no matter what I do, Martis dies normally, which I'm going to assume this glitch follows the same rules the Daramon Cragmore bug follows. Everything is decided at a certain point if Martis will die normally or be stretched, just like if you will be given the Cragmore quest or not. Back to the Bridal Hall's main entrance, even though we learned how to use the flap and slide to clip Arak into the Bridal Hall from the previous bonus video, I like to show the best method to do so. Position Arak to the center of the staircase and flap and slide forward until you see the camera do this. Then turn Arak to the side and then flap and slide towards the Bridal Hall's main hall while strafing. Another thing I want to point out is that it doesn't matter if you've already loaded the lower hallway or not, as Arak will phase through it when holding X to descend, and then we can proceed to the elevator which Arak can use. However, if the building of the main hall is loaded out, then you can't clip through the lower hallway ceiling. But why bother since you have a nice open space right next to it? However, there is a lot of pushy boundaries here that make it difficult to reach the floor. I find that coming in low while strafing and using the X button is so far the best way to get Arak to land on the floor below. Just be careful to stay clear of the circular elevator lest it takes Arak for a ride. If the elevator is gone, you can just descend down with strafing and using the X button to eventually reach the Bridal Hall's Elagia. Now, an amendment to traversing on stairs. I developed a method to going down a set of stairs when Arak gets stuck on a step, and that is to tilt the control stick back and then forward, and then back and then forward again if he gets stuck again, to access Arak's super running speed. This is not a universal rule, as these little staircases leading to the Desert Lord can attest. No amount of tilting back and forward on the control stick will allow Arak to traverse them. So if that method is out the window, then I have another one that will come in handy in this situation. Turn Arak so he can strafe towards the bottom of the stairs, and then walk Arak forward into a wall while strafing in that direction to have Arak recoil from the wall, and thus recoiling from the wall will allow Arak to traverse a little ways down the stairs, thus freeing him from being stuck. And this is what it looks like in real time. Now, to get out of the Bridal Hall, I did show in the bonus video that you can just do the flap and slide out to the wall and to get out of here, but you have to mess with the the outer limits and potentially invisible Arak. So what we're going to do instead is simply have Arak fly up. We're going to do what we did in episode 76, part 1. About at the 19-minute, 41-second mark, I gave an app description as to what to do. This situation, we're first going to hold triangle, and we're going to have Arak get a little higher. We can do this either here or the staircase. I'm sure there's other locations, but for now, I'm just going to show you this one location right here. When he's up above like this, what we're going to do is press X. Come on, Arak. Up, up. No, not down. Because you need to hold triangle while doing this. Let me reset Arak. Back, forth, get him up nice and high here. All right, now let's try it. X. Nope. X. 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 And there we go. Arak is now free of the Bridal Hall. We can go ahead and proceed on outside. So for now, let's head on out here, and we're going to turn our focus on the ladies that appear on both the upper and lower level of the ferry's docking bay. For this, I want to have all 5 of them to appear. So we will activate the 2 ladies down below first, and then have Ren clip into the hallway through the observation deck door to take care of the Desert Lord to spawn the other 3 ladies. Now, with the stage set, we can use Arak's breath attack to send them back inside as another little game, just like we've done with Mardis and the 3 sailors in the Adralian Isles.
Back with the others.
Now we're going to talk about getting Arak into the Bridal Hall from the ferry docking bay, and there are 2 methods in doing so, as well as we're going to be talking about clipping Arak into some of the other islands in Stratos. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to clip in. This is a method that is shown in Pafe SC's first speed run of Drakan the Ancient Gates back in 2014. Now, I have a link down in the description below so you can see that, because it's kind of a nice history of kind of where Drakan speedrunning came from at the start and how much it has changed with my involvement. So what we're going to do here is we're going to utilize basically the general method of having 2 objects between us. We want to clip into the wall to our right, and we're going to use the cave ceiling to allow us to do that. The thing that allows us to do that is since we can actually just fly above it, we can actually strafe into, what we want to do is strafe into this general part right here. So we're just going to get Arak up, down close to it. We're going to use strafe controls and even flying forward, to try to get him down as close as possible. Once we get him down close enough, we're then going to utilize, see how he recoiled right there? That's what we're looking for. We're going to strafe into that, so we strafe this way to go to the wall, then we strafe left to hit that. You don't want to be too low or too high on it. So let's go ahead and get him a different angle here. Let's get a little higher so we can descend down in here, strafing to the right, fly forward, strafe to the right, fly forward, strafe to the right, fly forward. Okay, wow, good spot. Try strafing into it. No, I was too high up. Right here is about where you want to be. I got some good recoils. I just couldn't get Arak in there. Again, it's kind of like a little RNG on how he is going to recoil and respawn, but just keep trying to strafe into the top of this cave ceiling there, and eventually he'll be able to clip in. Yes, there we go. And clip in just like that. It's supposed to be a speed run strat. Again, this is probably a part where it could make or break your run. And what we're going to do here, we're going to approach from over here. Fly down low. I want to be below this. And what we're going to do is fly up into here. Wiggle Arak through by strafing. And then I think, is he? Yeah, he's now inside. In which then we will proceed on down here, which will keep him on the staircase here. This puts him in the perfect position to try to fly up and get out of here. And so what we're going to do here is first save the game, and then I'm going to tell you what's going to be happening here. Now you could theoretically move Arak down here and get him into the room. Yes, the movement is faster and whatnot, but there's one problem. Well, the cutscenes didn't trigger. Well, actually, they did. Arak triggered the cutscenes, but nothing happens. Realizing something was amiss, you jump off your dragon, and then you'll learn that the triggers for the cutscenes are no longer there. As I said, Arak triggered them. What this means is he can no longer summon the fairy for you, and as well as the bridge, the invisible bridge that we would need if we want Arak to come with us to the Necropolis. So, if you're doing this old speedrun strat, you do not want to move Arak into that room. He will destroy the triggers. Now, if I was doing it, what I would do is get Arak to right here to destroy the first trigger, and then jump in here for the cutscene.
Do what? You mean
Skip this cutscene.
I'm
Because we do not need the first part of the cutscene. We just need the last trigger for it. Now, leaving here with Arak is actually quite simple. We don't have to do a flap and slide or anything like that. All we got to do is strafe up here. And then in this spot right here, we are going to have Arak pop on through. And just wiggling back and forth with strafe controls, and Arak will be free to leave out of here. Going this way, and wait, where am I? Oh, down below. There we go. Now, the one thing about doing this, however, is that, well, the ship doesn't load in. So what we want to do is move Arak just a little bit, and then we'll fly up out of here. Moving that far in should allow Arak to, there we go. Should load in the ship. So we get in there. Yes, the ship is loaded in. There is a trigger for the ship that's up past the stairwell. Yes, the guy summoning the fairy, well, that doesn't bring the fairy in here. It has a nice cool animation or whatnot, but it does not bring in the fairy. The hologram is a lie! So the question is, what does the fairy do when it triggers? Because after all, we can't even see the fairy arrive when we enter in through the main door. Well, using the phantom rowing glitch, we're going to phase right through here to kind of see how the ship comes in slow motion. So the ship basically just appears and then rotates around. That's all it basically does. Thank you, Arak. The ship just appears facing that direction and then just rotates around. just like the ship that appears when you enter into the observation deck above. I also like how the soulless are unable to cross the bridge, as if they don't want to be part of this. They may have no soul, but even their bodies know that they don't want to cross this bridge to head over to the Necropolis. Also interesting is what time slow allows us to do. Time slow exaggerates the movement so much that it makes it a lot easier to clip into places, just like accessing the Bridal Hall. It even helps us to use locations that normally, without time slow, you would not be able to clip in at all. But yet, time slow makes it so easy. So I guess if you're having trouble with having trouble clipping into the islands or whatnot, try time slow to kind of be able to do that job. Again, it wouldn't be really much of a speedrun strat because you don't get time slow in the speedrun. It make the speedrun a bit too slow. But in terms of just trying to bypass in there anyway, just use time slow and it makes things a whole lot easier. Though there is one island that I would recommend not using time slow with, but we'll talk more about that when we get to that island. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about here is clipping Arak into the Bridal Hall by using this tree over here, getting him squeezing in between here. This was discovered by a YouTuber that was formerly on YouTube, but recently the channel got deleted. I'm pretty sure that is deleted because, well, usually when you lose, I had a video in my a random Drakan glitch playlist I made up, and it was the very first video on the playlist. And I was looking for the video via the thumbnails so I can reference, and then I had trouble trying to find it. That's because, well, the thumbnail changed because the next video in line was up. It's like, hold on here, wait, but where's the video? I clicked on there and it wasn't there. And there was nothing in the unavailable videos or whatnot. There was no evidence to, like you click show unavailable videos, and it will show any videos that were made private or region locked or deleted, and none of that happened. There was no evidence that that video was ever on YouTube, and I'm just completely blown away with that. So if anyone has the name of the YouTuber of the glitch I am about and the tricks that I'm going to show you in regarding to that YouTuber and everything that he alluded to, that would be fantastic, because I want to give credit where credit is due. And so what we're going to do here, one of the things that he alluded to is that this glitch can be done anywhere, rather if you have a box and a wall, a tree and a wall, or even if you're flying above, you got a tree in the mountainside, or maybe the cave ceiling over there and the wall, or even just a mountain slope and a mountain slope, which is basically the anywhere mountain bypass glitch. As long as there's anything that Arak can be basically pushed around to the point where his recoil pushes him outside the boundary, into inside the mountain slope, or inside here, which is going to be the island itself. So what we're going to do here is easiest way to do this, because originally in the video the YouTuber mentioned that this was a rather tedious and a little difficult, but actually once when you know the trick, it's rather easy to do. All you got to do is just move Arak backwards and then strafe him to the right on the other side of the tree. And then let's squeeze him out over here. And then right when he's right here, and then we then fly up and try to get his, aha, that time. Because sometimes when it grabs his wing, he'll be sucked back out into the ferry docking bay. And we want him to be inside here, because what we're going to do is then fly out over to here, to this location here, until he turns invisible, rotate Arak around, and we are in the Bridal Hall. This is exactly what he showcased, well, what the YouTuber showcased to us. And the other things that he alluded to is that you can actually use this to access Grotus's lair among other locations in Stratos, in the main islands. And I'm going to show you guys the very thing that that YouTuber did not show us, and just in white text just gave some description as to what. And so we are going to preserve this knowledge here and now. First off, let's talk about bypassing into Grotus' lair with Arak. And so the location here on the island to do that is right over here. It took some digging and trial and error, but this is the one spot I was able to get to work. And what we do, we want to have Arak actually in between on this side of the pillar, and trying to have Arak bounce off this terrain right here. The one thing though, you do not want to use time slow in this location. You'll find out why once when we get inside here. Yes, there. Okay, whoo! Oh no 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 no. That is the exact reason why we wouldn't use time slow, given that it exaggerates his movement. I was so close. The thing is, since the interior of this huge chasm is so close to the exterior wall that there's just a small window in there, having an exaggerated recoil will basically just launch you straight into here. So yeah, we want to avoid using time slow to bypass into here, which makes it a little bit harder to pull off. Now, once when you get in here with Arak, you can't get out. Not in the sense that you can't use time slow to clip out of here. It's more that just, well... Well, trying out with time slow and I ended up crashing the game, damn it. Apparently, when you trigger the first ambush where the soul is flanking, you will softlock or hardlock the game whenever Arak turns invisible due to an outer limit getting in between both Arak and the camera. This is just like what we encountered in Sardana with those loading blue discs when entering a building or cave. But unlike in Sardana, there is no way to disable this. That is because we can't exit Stratos. Without a level-to-level save load screens, this bug can't be undone. It's unfortunate, but at least we have an alternative location for the nighttime at Stratos if we care about being able to have Arak tangle with those outer limits. I'll have to check if this carries over to the Necropolis, since I haven't tested this out with portals yet, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Come on, strafe. Strafe. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, stay up, stay up. Stand down, stand down. No, he got back in. All right, let's go back out there and try again. Wait a second, but I didn't activate that. I might be able to, since I gotta test this out. Let's try to clip Arak into the other side of the island, because we'll be able to tell. Because since I didn't trigger that, I might actually be able to use time slow now to clip Arak into the rest of the mountainside, in case if he actually clips in here anyways. All right. Let's go fly ourselves through the island. Wait a second. Okay, for a second there, I thought I opened that. It's like, no, 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 don't. Oh, crap, crap, crap. Arak! Yes, it worked! Oh, ho, 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 ho. Now the moment of truth. Yes! Yes! It works! Okay, so you can clip from inside there if you accidentally clip in there. You'll need probably a little bit of time slow, but oh my gosh. So I got back inside here, So let me go down over what transpired to make that all happen. So we cast Time Slow. And level 3 Time Slow helps a lot because it gives you a little bit more time to work with. So basically what we want to do is have Arak be as level but not enough to make him land. We're going to strafe over here and we're going to press X. I wasn't quite there. Oh!
I can't fly here.
And that's the risk that we have to deal when doing there. It's landing on top of there. I want to exaggerate Arak's movements just a little bit so I can actually have a bit more momentum going into this. There, that's exactly what I want. Hold back on the control stick. I'm strafing with X. Come on. Yes, there we go. Booyah. And I'm still got movement. I clipped right in, and let's fly off over here. Up, over here, Arak. Up, over. And let's leave. Oh, am I? Okay. Oh, there we go. And now, oh, we loaded straight into it. That's nice. Okay. That's real nice. Ooh, and I can just fly right in here. Yeah. Oh, that's loaded in there. But the thing about exploring over here, exploring down in there, there's one thing I do want to point out before going back outside and kind of show a more proper way of clipping in without actually entering in there. We're going to go ahead and go down into here.
I can't fly here.
Despite there being no ceiling,
I
Arak
can't fly here.
can't fly here, apparently.
Can't fly
There's no
here.
place for him to fly
I
out.
can't fly here.
I am just kind of loving that we have indeed figured out what was causing the whole game going into hard lock / soft lock mode on us. And now we can basically go ahead and explore here with Arak, which, again, we're coming right back to. Let's head back outside and kind of show how to try to do a clip in and not get sucked into here. Let me see if I can actually... Let me jump off here for a second. I want to kind of show you guys here. All right, as the best way to show you guys here, I want to show... I don't think I can traverse here, but you'll get the gist of it. It's this little angle right here. Oh, actually, I guess I am able to traverse it. But it's right here, this spot. This is elevated up this way, and then we got a steep slope up here. This is about, in between right here is about where we want to try to clip in here using the land. Now, getting Arak in between the two land masses can be a little challenging given to the pushy boundaries that are posed to us due to the slope and the pillar in front of us. But there are two methods to go about trying to get Arak squeezed in there. One is pressing triangle repeatedly while holding X and strafing to the right. And that's if you're coming at it from below. If you're coming at it from above, you can just tap X repeatedly and just try to get Arak down as low as we can possibly can. Ah! Getting him to land might actually be a good way to get him in just the right spot. So if he lands, it's not that bad of a thing. Because you can move him exactly to the spot you need him to be at. And then hopefully, through RNG, you'll get it. Oh, he'll land. Fine. We'll just do it this way then. Get him close. Oh, nope. Not too far out. Come on. Yes, that's how we do it. Okay. And I was able to clip in without him actually getting to the island. Now let's be careful here. Because we want to be sure that we don't accidentally clip out. So we're just going to carefully navigate Arak. Think. Just go this way. Think and go through the gap here. Yes. 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 Go through the gap. Go to the right. To the right. Yes. Whoo! And now we can explore the island. That time I didn't even clip in there. Again, a little bit of RNG, but I think we finally found it. I think we finally found the way to clip in here a little more consistently. This area out here, so we know that is out, like that right here takes us to the outside island. But this whole mass right here, as I can't fly up through it, but I can fly down through it. But right down around here is where Grotus should be. At least his boss chambers, I guess you could call it. The boss room. Now, one thing that's a good landmark for us to use is this part right here. This is a very good spot for us to use, as it kind of tells roughly where Grotus's lair is at. But I definitely would not recommend saving here. For some reason, the stairs that are on this side, no matter the 2 tricks that I mentioned earlier in the episode, they won't work. Arak cannot go down those stairs, as well as the entire Grotus's lair is plagued with that Arak cannot fly. He will not fly wherever you land him at. So you want him in the air. So this is good. So this is about the room size. We want to be about above here. Move off this way. And about up here. And we can just save the game right about, let's see here. Where's that? We're up this high. It goes down the stairs. Yeah, about right here. Save the game. And we are above on top. Oh, that was actually a close call. I almost was actually inside Slayer. So we actually want to be about this high up. Okay, that's good note for the future. But look at this. Again, as I said, the Arak cannot fly no matter where he goes in here. So as soon as you land down, he can't fly. But that doesn't mean he cannot leave here, though. So to sum everything up, what we're basically do is basically strafe Arak into the pillar here. We're going to now try X, 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 X. Okay, that's not working. Okay, triangle, triangle, triangle. That didn't work. X, 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 X. Forward, forward, forward. Come on. X, X. Keep pressing X, 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 X. Okay. Might be low enough here. Yeah. Oh, I was low enough. Dang it. Because you can just go, if you find yourself in just the right spot anyways, you don't have to land Arak. And you can just go ahead and strafe on into the slope down here and have him pop inside. All right. X, 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 X. I'm a little too high up. I need to get back down. Okay, what we do here, since it's too high up and he's not getting back down, we're going to do a quick straight to the left. So, X, left, and R2 at the same time. Boop! Because I don't want him to launch too far out to the left, or else we have to do this whole trying to clip in between the boundaries again. Okay, this is a good spot here. Still not landing down, but I should be roughly in a really nice spot here that I can clip in. I think. Come on. Yes! Yes! And he's not clipping in the rest of the island. So we're going to rotate Arak around. We're going to follow this way. This is actually a preferred route. Go down lower. Go off over here. Because when we cut through this way, we're going to have a chance to load everything in without actually having to... Oh, crap! We still run the risk of freezing the game as sometimes this happens. I definitely cannot pause. Dang it! So it's a good idea to have a backup save in case of anything of the such happens and you don't have to try to clip back in. So moving off over to here, careful not to clip out or into, and then we're gonna fly down here and then go to the corner here. And then get Arak into there. You see that corner that I tried to get Arak into there? That is about the best place to have him clip in here automatically without having... Okay, Eric, turn this way so you don't accidentally clip outside. So you don't actually have to save and load back. And now we can go straight to the boss fight with Grotus. And without further ado, let's explore that option here. Let's have some fun here.
This should be amusing.
Striding right into the cutscene with Arak and skipping the cutscene freezes Rin into the position she takes when being called a little human. With her turned around like this, gives us the perfect opportunity to see what she looks like while riding Arak. Now, parking Arak a little ways away from the cutscene leads to a delayed attack where Grotus won't be harmed until he fully emerges. This leads to the cutscene dialogue being interrupted with his damage dialogue.
Finish this.
Now, when parking Arak right in front of the cutscene trigger leads to Grotus being attacked immediately, so he rises up with his fists raised, and Rin is looking ready to throw down fisticuffs anytime. Most of the same happens except with him dying before the last part of the cutscene. Hilarious. I like how the mini-bosses have more health than Jasad. Well, some of the mini-bosses have more health than Jasad. Given that Jasad's supposed to be technically the final boss, even if you regard the Pain Golem and Jasad share the same health. I mean, even like Molgak, for example, Jiminy Christmas, the amount of health that he has. I mean, maybe they were compensating with Jasad's evasion tactics. Whenever he's hit, he teleports away, so the fight isn't long and redundant, even though it is kind of redundant anyways. But I do not know. Let's go ahead and grab the potion. And to leave out of here, we can just use the portal. Oddly enough, Arak can use the portal to leave Grotus' lair. However, he can't use the portal to head back into Grotus' lair. It's kind of find interesting, a one-way portal for Arak and a two-way portal for Rin. Oh, and apparently the skeletons don't summon. Unless if let's see here. Oh, that's interesting. So even though I have Grotus' potion, if I enter in here, oh wait, oh, there they go. Actually, hold on. Come and get me. Time slow. All right, Arak, time for some rapid fire action. Woo, come on.
This one is baked.
And I believe that takes care of the skeletons. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other places we can clip into, as well as clipping into the interior of the Necropolis Island. Now, before we do all that, I do want to point out, if you want Arak to be able to explore the halls over there, well, you kind of have to go to the store and delete the halls. Then walk Arak off over to here, and then you can walk Arak through to here, and then you can proceed on. Well, you can't proceed on to kill the enemies just yet because, well, they haven't loaded in yet. Just simply walk to where normally the entrance to the Grotus' lair is, which I call the soldier barracks, the barracks for the djinns. And you need to be sure to note the total of the djinn here that you kill, because you don't want to kill the last one, or else you basically have trapped Arak inside here. Once you're down to the last one, what you got to do is head back the same way you came in here, off over to here, and then when you're inside here, you then are going to go off. Let's see here. Come this way. Come this way. Ow! Even though I'm invincible, still, ow. Come on, come this way. Okay, now let's go ahead and take care of him.
Rin, let's get going.
Okay, and this loads in everything here, and which in this case we can actually still traverse here with Arak. Okay, there we go. So strafing back and forth and eventually going up. Because I know ways to go downstairs, go upstairs when he gets stuck. I do not know very well, but just strafing and bouncing off the walls seem to do just fine. And then we can proceed on to the portal. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Necropolis. well, not the Necropolis, but the other places we can bypass into, and then the Necropolis. Now, we already know how to clip into the Island of Golden Palace from episode 80, where we use this root system and try to get Auroch right in between here and strafe into the root system, pushing Auroch on the recoil into the Island of the Golden Palace. And thus, we were able to find an item inside here, which gave me some inspiration. Hey, let's try to clip into some other islands and try to find some hidden things too. I didn't really find anything hidden or whatnot on the islands, but here's how you can clip into some of the other islands on Stratos. Now let's talk about how to clip into Spiral Island. So basically with this, we are going to utilize, just like in the idea with the root system, instead of the root system, we're going to use this lone sentinel tower to have our clip into. And this is actually kind of unique. Instead of strafing into it, we have a different method in clipping in here. As long as you can get a recoil, it's going to work. So what we're going to do here is try to get Auroch into the center, right above the tower, but right at the center of it. And then what we're going to do is have Auroch relax, so stop flying forward, and then we'll press X to have him descend down. This has a great chance of having Auroch kick off the tower, the base of the tower, and then he will basically be pushed in like this. So easy. Again, just kind of relax Auroch, and then as he's just idling there, you can just go ahead and fly on forward. Now let's go ahead and run through that one more time. Again, just get Auroch right into the center of the tower, right above the tower at its center. Get him in neutral position, press and hold X, and he will clip right in. One of the easiest locations you can clip into. Now I had to say that being inside of Spiral Island is one of the most beautiful locations to be able to explore the interior of. You have basically the cave structure on the inside, and you have the top of the island above and the bottom of the island below. It's big, it's beautiful, and not only that, one of my favorite aspects of being inside Spiral Island is this area right here, where this small little gap where you basically had to thread the needle and fly right through. Oh, I would have loved more aspects of this game to utilize tighter corners. Maybe not too tight, because Auroch's recoil and whatnot is a little awkward at times, but that aside, we can actually get inside that little room that's on Spiral Island with Auroch. But of course, once when you get in here, well, you can't leave. You can't leave, you can't fly, you're pretty much stuck in here. But, hey, you managed to get Auroch inside here. Congratulations, he's trapped forever. Let's go ahead and move on and hit some of the other islands. The next island that we're going to talk about is right in front of Spiral Island, the big island of the three here. The thing is, this is one of the other locations that's actually quite easy to clip into here. So basically, we're going to utilize the two trees right here, and together they actually create a nice little wall. If we face Auroch to the south and just strafe into the trees, we're going to get a real nice recoil. We're going to get down low and then go and then strafe right into it, and then just keep strafing left until Auroch pops in, and then voila, you're inside the island. Real easy to clip into that one. Just like with Spiral Island itself, this island is rather easy to clip into and explore. Moving on from that small island, we're going to go to its largest neighbor, probably the largest of the non-essential islands. The islands that don't have anything for it or any reason for you to be exploring or whatnot. We're going to this island right here, but this island's clipping method is rather unique as it is the only one that we will have to use time slow. Taking to the skies with time slow activated, we are heading to this tree, which we need to try to get Auroch right in between the tree and the island. And again, with time slow, his recoils are greatly exaggerated, so even trying to attempt to get in between the tree can lead to him just bouncing away from where you're at. But again, once we get him in the right spot, we have a chance to clip in, and heck, with time slow, we can even approach going backwards, not even knowing where the tree is, but roughly have a rough idea, strafe backwards to the left, and boom, he is inside this island. The largest island that is non-essential, has nothing to do with anything, but it is by far the largest of the non-essential islands here. For yours to explore with time slow. I still haven't figured out a way to explore here without the use of time slow, but at least it's one of the cheaper spells that you can obtain. Our next island is located northeast of the Golem Palace, which basically we're going to utilize this dead tree to try to clip into the island here. The island is a little smaller, but thankfully it's wide enough that it should be not too difficult to clip in here. Time slow is not recommended because you'll just go right through one side of the island to the other. But we can still clip in here, no problem at all, strafing left into the dead tree, pitting the island and the dead tree, pitting Arik in between the island and the dead tree. Now with this one, there's not really much here, but I do like this one area over here, which would prove a really good place for kind of a hide-and-seek game if there is ever one, someone to do a mod for us to do kind of hide-and-seek. And plus, I can just use fireballs, I can protect myself here, or if they decide to come right in here, boom! I'll give them a Soul Nova. In any case, let's move on to the next island. Returning to the Bridal Hall's main island, we are going to try to clip into the lowest of the two islets outside of it. Now, what we got to do here, well, first off, we need to be aware that this is a very narrow gap that we're trying to clip Arik into, and it's possible, but due to the low ceiling and it being narrow makes it a little hard, but we're going to try to clip Arik into the wider portion over here, but we have to keep Arik low. So what we're going to use, instead of the top of the tree clipping into there, we're going to use the trunk of the tree to clip into there. And so we're going to try to squeeze Arik in between the tree's trunk and the island. This is by far the hardest of the islands that you can try to clip into, that at least I've done thus far. The thing is with this one is that you could try to use time slow, but again, the island, just like the previous one, is very narrow, so you're going to go out one end of the island to the other. But again, we just have to squeeze Arik in between the trunk here, which is easier said than done because it is a fairly narrow gap. And trust me, there are going to be times if you're trying to pull this off yourself that you're going to be so close and then yet so far. But just like with anything that is difficult, just keep trying and eventually you will pull it off. Just like strafing down here, strafing right, trying to stay low to the trunk as possible, you are going to clip in here just fine. It may take a bit of a while, but you'll get in here. The thing is about this island that's different from the other ones is that it actually has water, and the water extends outside where it's based. And the thing is, it makes me think like, oh, if I could have Rin right here, I could do the Drunken Rin glitch. Except she'll be falling to her death because, well, there's no ground beneath me. Now, the best thing you can do when clipping into this island is getting underneath the water and having Arik land down, because we are going to be able to do a glitch that allows Rin to have a weapon equipped on Arik. Now, in episodes, at the start of episode 76, part 1, we showed that we do not need to get underneath the water as long as we park Arik close enough to the water. But there is no location around water here in Stratos that satisfies that criteria. Because you'd have to have a swimming Rin into an Arik. You have to equip a weapon, swim into Arik, and immediately mount onto Arik without standing up. And without that, you wouldn't be able to equip a weapon. And look how badass this looks here in Stratos. Imagine flying around like this, taking on a multitude of aerial enemies. This is, if I were to go around and fighting dragons again, I would definitely do it like this. This is great. And given that Stratos has the most aerial enemies out of all the other stages, makes this even better. Now, the only other island to talk about is the Necropolis' docking bay, but we'll talk about that when we finish off the Bridal Hall once and for all and tackle the Necropolis' docking bay all at once. Now, I didn't show this earlier when talking about the Bridal Hall and the Upper Ferry. This is something that I had the result of. But now I will kind of talk to you since we're kind of trying to get to the Necropolis. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way, which is basically having the Nighttime at Stratos activated while riding the Upper Ferry. I originally did this over at Grotus' Lair and then coming back here, but now that we have a spot that's basically nice close to home here, let me show you the route to how you can get that background glitch activated while riding that Upper Ferry. We first start by dash clipping into the area where the Desert Lord is. After summoning and killing the Desert Lord, we set the trigger for the Upper Ferry to be activated at any time. We are then going to dash clip into the Loggia. Upon dash clipping into there, we're going to make our way all the way over to where we can activate the Nighttime at Stratos. We are then going to have Ren run all the way over here, jump onto this branch, and then Ren fly all the way over to the observation deck. Again, we have to use that branch because we need to get the height in order to have Ren land here. After that, we are then going to have Ren just kind of hug this door for a while. It takes a little bit to try to activate the trigger because it's just right in the door frame. But keep trying and you will eventually be able to open this darn door, and then we can finally proceed on to the Upper Ferry, and then we can shortcut there by just Ren fly all the way over there. Not necessary, but that's how we do it, and then the rest is history. It makes for the perfect eerie drop of this, though of course Arak is accompanying me this time. He is very well aware of what happened last time. But not that it really matters. She will teleport us away anyways. But yes, just kind of being out here in a nice night ride on the Upper Ferry with the most haunting being in existence on Stratos. I'm sorry, Arak.
Soon. They say I'm next.
Whee! And how did I got the view with the bride not being there? Well, I made sure that the activated the lower ferry bride first before activating the upper ferry. What the heck just happened? I hate when I load for the save and it just... Ah!
Is it time already? All right then, girl. Let's get on with it.
Yes, let's get on with it. Let's go and move on to the Necropolis. Let's go! So what we're going to do first is, before we officially move on to the Necropolis, I want to show you guys a nifty trick. So if you want to basically go in blind into the Necropolis, and the Necropolis only, well, until you leave out of the Necropolis and you fight Jasad blind, and you fight the Golem blind, let's first save the game. So what we're going to do here is basically, given that the game takes a little bit to load a cutscene, what we're going to do is that we're going to time Ren a Who turn, a Who teleport down to the death zone below us at the same time that the cutscene happens. And what's going to happen is that you'll fall down there, but then the cutscene will save you. Okay, here we go. Ah, didn't quite get it. Wait a second. What if I just do? Because you can do the. You don't need to do the Who turn itself. You can just do back up and do this, or even to the sidestep. Okay. Damn it, I tried to get through there. Let's try again. Given the invisible bridge seems to go into the ship a little bit, I cannot teleport through immediately. And by the time I am able to, she'll no longer be able to jump. So what we're going to do here, I wonder if I can just simply...
Bye.
Nope, that's not going to work. I probably actually don't even need to do the magic menu glide. I think I can just do the magic glide. Well, only one way to find out. Let's cast our magic. Yep, just a magic glide. Okay. I mean, I could also just move up there and do the dash over down to here or whatnot. So we'll save the game right here. Okay, let's find out which run. Let's say run 1, run 2, run 3. Okay, so that's about as far as it will trigger. So about run 2 or 2.5 is about what I need to do. And I mean rung, not run. The moment I get past the third rung of the railing, I can't believe I haven't emphasized that. Here we go. Okay. Now.
Bye.
Yes! There we go. Yes, she survives. The cutscene saved her. So if you're doing it sideways, just past the third rung of the railing. Just past it, and you'll be able to arrive here with the black screen. What's nice is that actually, it starts out... Okay, I put it the other way.
Do not let her escape.
That you can basically go forward. Okay. But now you have to deal with these guys totally blindfolded. And actually, the easiest setup for all this, you don't even need to perform any other glitches with it. All you gotta do is clear the enemies here to then head off over to now the open door to the control room. Head down, talk to the guy, head back up, and you can just run, hugging this corner all the way to the invisible bridge and keep running and then jump right onto the ship without triggering the cutscene, thus putting you in the perfect position to go and do a Who teleport to then proceed on to the Necropolis with the black screen. Now here's a trick that I kind of played along with a long time ago, and I basically lost my touch at it. But the idea is trying to basically get into the Necropolis docking bay with Arok during the cutscene when the mouth is open. This will be a great speedrunning strat if it can be figured out and be made consistent. Because for the life of me, I just can't seem to remember exactly what I did to actually make it work. It doesn't help that the cutscene seems to turn Arok around during the cutscene when I'm pretty sure I'm flying straight. And it is this part in the cutscene that I believe is turning around. As you can see, the compass is moving in there against my will. I kind of wish that you could just simply turn in the opposite direction that it's turning, and then that would solve the issue. But no, instead, it just puts you exactly where you just turned into. I'm still flabbergasted about that. In hindsight, the best setup is to send Arok to the back of the ship to then jump off and do the exact same thing we did before. This time we're just going to rotate Arok around with the right stick and then head him straight down to the bottom with the L stick, and then use the L stick, maneuver it left and right just slightly, just tap tap, and that seems to reset the compass effect so that you might be able to fly straight. Still haven't made that consistent, but as you can see, this is the closest success I had. You see Arok right there in the corner, right there, right there. Oh, I at least had him in the screenshot, and that's the most I've done, was get him in the screenshot of him trying to get to the mouth, but just failing every single time. I have never gotten into the mouth when it was open during the cutscene. Never have. And I just think there's a possibility there there's a possibility, but I'm not sure if it's actually impossible. That is just too far away from the Bridal Hall, but it's just a possibility is there. So I'm just gonna leave it up to you guys because it will take me ages just to figure out and trying to get up there and see if we can do it or not. And I don't have the time or luxury to do that. I want to go ahead and get into the Necropolis. So let's go. Also, in hindsight, you better park Eric to the right side of the ship because the left side, Eric will get stuck on the invisible bridge sometimes. But hey, at least the invisible bridge gives him rocket speed because he builds up speed during his interruption of going forward while on the invisible bridge. Now let's finally head off to the Necropolis, a place that has been eluding us for so long. We had plenty of teasers for it of going in there a little bit, just for a little bit, but to make it official now. So we're going to just have Eric fly down like this and have him accelerate on through up to where we need to go, to the docking bay. To the docking bay, to the Necropolis. So we're gonna do what we've actually done before. I think it was episode 80, I'm not too sure. But what I do here is basically strafe in like this. Just use an X and triangle as needed to kind of give Eric just the right movements to be able to bypass into there. The thing is, in this regards of the gate here, if you actually get up around to this bend right here, you can actually get stuck. Yeah, you can actually bounce, and heck, you can even bounce right into the fane and you can get stuck. It doesn't happen that often. I only happened a few times of all the times that I tried it, so I guarantee you're... Okay, enough putting on airs. Let's go ahead and take care of at least this degen. Right now I've got invincibility on. I want to show you guys something before we activate this portal. So Eric, land down for me. We are going to go ahead and bypass into the Necropolis' docking bay. So what we're going to do, instead of doing our usual clipping that we did earlier, we're just going to do the flap and slide. We're going to be shot at with plenty of daggers and whatnot, but I'm just going to ignore them because I have invincibility. And if he can't hit me when doing this, I don't know what to say about their stormtroopers. There's just sad stormtroopers. They can't hit me. Oh my god. I'm trying to bypass into here. They're hitting nothing but wall. Oh. Was that to me or was that to them, Arak? So again, this place is really huge. Oh, am I? Okay. A huge invisibility platform. It's basically as wide as this Earth platform right below me. Tell the truth, I could probably do the flap and slide out over here. I can do it out over here and whatnot. Oh no, I just like going to the back corner here. Especially since I can go ahead and land in there. But it's not really that, you can't really do it when the portal's there because the wing will touch the portal and teleport in there. But let's go ahead and explore the interior of this island. So let's see here. What is the interior of the Necropolis like? Well, you got the wings out here that go around. Left wing, you got the root system, you got the rocks up above here. It is a big, giant, just open space. Oh. And I think they have managed to clip out. Let's see here, because that's one thing that these guys can do, is that they can clip out and through the walls. So, if you're wondering, yes, they can do this while Rin is there. They can actually clip through the walls if Rin is there, which is unfair, because you need to kill at least 2 of them. And if 2 of them go out of bounds, well, you're kind of in tough luck. Thankfully, there is a trick that you can do in regards to that, but let me go ahead and eliminate these guys right now. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Unfortunately, I don't think you can land on top of here. Yeah, I thought not. You can't land on top of here. I would love to, because I would love to run underneath that. Up above here is basically you're going to clip out, but I would have loved to have been able to clip up on top of there and be able to explore the roof of this place. But everything's a slippery slope around here, I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and head on down. Oh, hold on. I'm going to need to come down a little bit lower outside, then come down, and voila. Now let's explore this part. Just a nice big playground. Nice flat ground that we can go off and explore. Go around to here, this side. This thing has collision programming, I think on both sides. Oh. Oh. Apparently it's quite a bit of collision programming on this side, that there's a freaking invisible wall that extends up and around it. But really, that's it. This is the only thing that's truly unique aside from the basically man-made structure, that it is not a world platform. It is a decorative platform, and if we know back in episode 77 what decorative platforms and world platforms is, that decorative platforms you can teleport through. So let's go ahead and now switch over to Ren. Now the one thing I find interesting is that right here, it's a world platform, okay? But let's go ahead and sidestep and let's spam the Who teleport. At what point does it not become a world platform? Right there. At that point, it's not a world platform anymore. Thing is basically you're kind of stranded here, in a way. In fact, the only way to get off of here and try to get back into here is to basically flight dash to the nearest island and then just hopscotch to each island using the magic menu glide. But instead of showcasing that, because you can figure out the path to get back from there if you do decide to explore with Ren. Though, yeah, as you see, I'm just not quite high enough. Though, it gives me an idea in a way. Let me check something here. So what we can do is use the landmass out over here, and to make sure we get enough height, we are going to dash climb up and over, and then we're going to flight dash all the way to the entrance. And then going in between the gap, we're going to go right in between here. And we have made it back to the entrance, to the Necropolis docking bay, and then we can just use the portal up ahead to teleport back up top, and we're back where we started. So yeah, you can actually get out of there because of the hills that the developers left there. I don't know why they're there, but thank you, developers, for leaving those behind. You made it possible for us to get back from the underneath everything, for that matter. Alright. If remember about how the ferry is mapped out with its invisible platforms and whatnot, let's go ahead and get to the roof of the ferry, the top of the sail. And let's see if we can use it to access the rib cage of the Necropolis. Well, the Necropolis docking bay. Okay, jump up to here, and then we can go up to here. And then let's take a peek inside here. So there is no solid collision programming of the rib cage itself. Let's get up over here. What about the roof? Oh, there seems to be collision programming with the roof, so it makes me wish I could get up there and run underneath that same area that I was able to show you guys from before. But there is no way I can figure out to be able to get Ren up there. I can get Arik up there just fine. I just can't, since he can't land, I can't get Ren up there for the time being. Given that there's no way to clip into the island with Ren alone. Because, well, even if I use... let me see here. I don't think, not even this has closing programming, does it? Let's see, this rib cage right here. Oh. I can't tell. Am I on the ferry or am I on the rib cage? I'm on the ferry. It surely made me think of, but here's a good perspective of the rib cage right here. Nothing really much to look at, but hey, you got up here. Congrats. Apparently, Arak has clipped out of bounds, so I gotta go and retrieve him. But if Arak does clip out of bounds here, you can still call him to you, and he will be able to land on top of the invisible landmass that's out here. And then you can assist him in clipping back inside with the flap and slide. Or you can just simply leave out from the island and come in from the other side.
I'm coming.
Thankfully, Arak can land back down when he's up in the air in this area. There's some places in the Necropolis that Arak will not be able to. But let's go ahead and tackle a couple more things actually, before we head into the Necropolis. Dropping down here, I'm pretty sure we all have seen these vents here in the Strauss and Necropolis docking bay. Haven't you always wanted to actually get inside there? Well, technically you can, but not with Ren alone, and Ren can't actually even traverse in there. I haven't found a way yet. I tried, to find a place where I can do, well, not find a place, but try to force that. But the thing is, level 4 Impale does not work up here. So I can't use the Anywhere Phantom Rolling glitch to even glitch in there. So basically, we need to use Arak. However, we can clip in to at least one of them. So let's go ahead and walk Arak over this way. Then we're going to go down to here. We're going to try to clip into that one right there. For the one that's closest to me right now. So we're going to strafe Arak up over towards it. We want to be right about smack dab in the middle. And we're going to fly forward at the ship. This is going to eventually cause Arak to clip into the fence. And then we can actually fly right into here. Now, of course, Arak is kind of trapped in here in a way. But I think if I can strafe, I think I still have the ability to strafe. Or not. I guess at some point I can no longer strafe. Must be stuck in between something. But yeah, that is how you can clip inside here through the fence and be able to be inside the vent. Though it would have been a lot nicer if I could do so with Ren, because then I can actually have a closer look on the inside. But this is about the best look we can get on the inside here of being inside this darn fence. Has probably eluded us for a long time now, but hey, we can get inside here. As for the other ones, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on and leave those ones to you guys to figure out if we can or can't do that, because we want to get this Necropolis done, and there's one more thing we gotta do. Now, the last thing we gotta do is a little portal manipulation, though it's not as amazing as the one that's gonna be shown in the next episode, but we can actually reach that portal and then immediately get onto that portal that is down below us. Let me see if I get a better look at it. Right down to here. There's a lot of pushy boundaries that can get in our way, but let's see here. We're gonna go up and around the portal. And then we're going to clip on the side of it. Go, 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 go. Ah, darn it. No, 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 no. Did I touch it in time? It doesn't seem like I did. All right, go into here. Activate the portal. Fly up. Go over to here. Fly down. Yes, I did it. We're in here. And then we're warped back out here to then warp back into... right back into the Necropolis. Let's go! Triple warp! Oh yeah! It's a pain in the butt to pull off, but it is quite amusing. Alright, but now we are officially inside the Necropolis. Say goodbye to Stratos for now. And let's go ahead and tackle a few things. But I think first and foremost, before we continue, let's save the game. Let's first show you guys the speedrun route. So flying up here, we then go to have Arak strafe into here, descend down close enough, you'll be able to hear him.
Ah, my
Dearest, won't you stop this foolishness? Come and embrace your love. Though I think if I leave him right here, we can Rin dash. I'm trying to make sure Arak doesn't fly away. Did it work? Oh yes, I think it did. Yes, he didn't fly away. Perfect, I got him into the right spot. Ouch, I've been taking quite a few damage. But I took a little delay there. Activate here. Rin dash over here. Oh wait, he did fly away, dang it. Oh well. But even if he flies away,
Of course.
just know that Arak will always land behind you. Let's go ahead and switch to Fireball, because that's what you would have in the speedrun, is just Fireball. Skip the cutscene. Just taking a few fireballs attacks directly to there. We then skip the cutscene. We then are going to then descend with Arak, because at this point, since in the speed run, we no longer need Arak. We'll just have him run to the portal. Of course, normally I actually run him all the way to the portal, but I'm not trying to do a perfect speed run here. I'm just kind of showing you guys the gist of it. We then teleport up here. Skip the cutscene and receiving the... there. Activate that to receive it. And then on this one, we're gonna just need to jump right through. Because if we run down normally, we can't actually, if we run down normally, we can't actually make it through the doors. They'll close on us. You have to do a jump before getting in there. And then we warp right to Jasad's Palace, and that is basically the speed run of the Necropolis. Now let's head back into the Necropolis. We'll talk about speedrunning Jasad later. So now let's talk about the one thing that's going to top off this episode here. Yes, the episode is almost done. And that is in regards to the thumbnail, generating multiple copies of the Flesh Mage, which basically at this point it might as well be clickbait because, well, you got the thumbnail and the multiple Flesh Mages, but it's at the end of the video that you learn how to generate multiple copies of them. And it's an hour and 30-minute long video, but don't worry. Well, I guess at this point it'll be redundant, but you guys should check the description of the different time drops, as towards the end of that list, the generating multiple copies of the Flesh Mage will be there. Okay, but let's go ahead and head on out to here. We're going to generate our first copy of the Flesh Mage.
Ah, my dearest, won't you stop this foolishness? Come and embrace your loving husband.
All right, we just wait for him to come out to us. I can see him. Come on up higher. I want you to get out of the stairwell. There we go. Okay, now descend down. Let's activate our second one. Okay, so I just want to right now just kind of tell you guys how I'm going to categorize these 4 Flesh Mages that we're going to encounter. Is that we have the balcony Flesh Mage, the Flesh Mage that's generated from and basically going onto the balcony. You have the Flesh Mage from the cutscene here that we just activated, we're going to call him, in regards to the door over there, RD Flesh Mage, right door Flesh Mage. Because then the second one that would be activated when arriving from those doors will open those doors over there, hence why he'll be called LD Flesh Mage. And then you have the Death Cutscene Flesh Mage, also known as DC Flesh Mage. So Balcony Flesh Mage, RD Flesh Mage, LD Flesh Mage, and DC Flesh Mage. Those are how I'm categorizing the different Flesh Mages, because they're all their own separate individuals in a way. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Right now, let's go ahead and generate the third Flesh Mage, which we need to get some distance. And we need an invisibility potion, because invisibility potions make them stand still for us. Though, except he retreats when you use one. Now that's interesting, and he'll warp right up to there? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I was wondering why this one Flesh Mage just ceases to like stay where you're at. So he actually retreats when you do an invisibility potion. So you need to lure him in a bit farther. Oh my gosh, in that case, scratch that. We are going to, so let's go ahead and get him back to, now he won't pay attention to us. Come on. Come and attack us. Because attacking makes you aggro here. There he goes. Come towards me. I got invincibility on, so I can tank a few hits. Because then we have you down here. Oh, and he's not moving either. So, oh my gosh, so these Flesh Mages are pretty much duped by the invisibility potion. But I like where he is right now, so let's go ahead.
I'll wait here, Rin.
Use that. And then we're gonna do some dash clipping here. We can actually dash clip through this wall. We can't dash clip through the door, but dash clipping through the wall adjacent to the door, we can actually get right through here. It's a little jankier than... Am I close enough? There we go. Let's go ahead and save my progress so far, because we want to generate our second copy of the Flesh Mage. So now we should have 3 copies of the Flesh Mage now coming after us. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I got 3 copies of the Flesh Mage right here. But what about the 4th copy? Well, we know how to activate that one, but we need to basically go back to, we need to go back. But I also want to show, the thing is, we can generate also the golems. If we push in our clipping a bit further, we can generate the golems, because we need to go into the room of the golems to destroy that, urn, to then spawn in the golem that smashes the door, to then run past that golem, and then we got golems in addition to it. Here's the gauntlet, basically, I have here. You got yourself the black screen. You must do this blindly with, you have to do it with 3, with the golems and 4 Flesh Mages. You gotta do it in a way that you will actually have 4 Flesh Mages. It's... Oh my gosh, it is absolutely insane. because you have basically instant death around you at every corner. And of course, no armor. No armor. No weapons. You can't attack the Flesh Mages. You can't use like Mornbringer to heal yourself or whatnot. No healing. You have to get an escape into not only the first door, you then have to load back to your save, and you have to go to the door on the left. And you also have to avoid the portal. Don't walk onto the portal. You can't just go in the portal, go up, and just kind of cheese it a little bit ways there. But again, black screen. So let's go ahead and head off to the... Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. Well, just let me admire this for a brief second. Look, 3 Flesh Mages coming after me. 1 Flesh Mage is bad enough, but 3, oh my gosh. But I definitely like the idea of creating an amalgamation of the Flesh Mage. Let's go ahead and head off here. Give us more room so we don't accidentally fall off. Okay, let's run around in circles. Let's get a nice, beautiful picture here. Oh my. Come on. Oh my gosh, they're all 3. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely nightmare fuel. The fusion of 3 Flesh Mages. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful, beautiful picture. Okay, let's head off to the death cutscene, Flesh Mage, and let's talk about the gauntlet. Setting up the gauntlet is a pain in the butt with all the saving and loading you have to do. I even messed up on its setup due to lack of information at the time. My biggest mistake was not realizing how the balcony Flesh Mage responds to invisibility potions, and definitely need to use clone instead. I also didn't give him enough time to escape the stairwell leading to the balcony. I'd recommend having a dozen full mana potions, couple of invincibility and invisibility potions, or just use God mode, a weapon that doesn't heal, about 3 save slots, as well as level 3 Impale, Clone, and Time Slow. Got all that? Let's get started. We first trigger the balcony Flesh Mage, followed by the RD Flesh Mage. We should now have 3 Flesh Mages, with the DC Flesh Mage already being here. Using Clone to bait them away from you, we then head towards the portal. We activate the portal with Auroch and then jump off of him. This will send him away, which is great because we don't want him to turret any of the golems to death. We then back up to this wall and cast Time Slow, followed by a level 3 Impale to perform the Anywhere Phantom Rolling glitch. Using a compass and audio cues, we can navigate Ren to the room with the golems and the lone pot that we need to destroy. This is a perfect time to save, and if you're using God mode, now is the time to turn it off. If you have to be quick here, because I am not sure how the balcony Flesh Mage responds to Ren when she is simply out of view in another room. Thankfully, you can use an invincibility potion to then, when that time's out, it will negate God mode. After breaking the pot and making the golem open the door for us, and as soon as you open the next door leading back to the sacrificial altar, save the game, because now your run can begin. If done correctly, you will now have the setup where you have to dodge 2 golems and 4 Flesh Mages to make a trip to the far off right door and then load back to start your attempts at the far left door. All with the black screen and nothing but a compass and not a non-healing weapon to figure out where you are at. I wish you all the best of luck in challenging this gauntlet. Though there is one thing I do have to note, guys, is that killing the Flesh Mage, let's advance the story a bit.
You don't know what you've done.
Now, advancing the story, we will despawn both the balcony Flesh Mage and the RD Flesh Mage, but the LD Flesh Mage, well, he is still there. Oh my, a flaming Flesh Mage coming at me. Okay, the thing is, even after defeating the Flesh Mage, destroying the very urn that gives him life, you still have a Flesh Mage chasing after you. Oh crap, the door's closed on me. But he will chase you all the way to the portal, as long as he doesn't get stuck out there. But other times he will follow you. You'll be at the portal, you'll be like looking around for a bit, just doing some things, and then you start hearing the fleshy sounds. It's like, wait a second, what's that? Oh my gosh, it's a Flesh Mage, you're not supposed to be here! You're supposed to be dead! You're supposed to be dead! But in any case, the one thing that's also good to note is that, well, the DC Flesh Mage doesn't despawn as well. After managing to take care of the Flesh Mage's phylactery with the black screen, both the LD Flesh Mage and the DC Flesh Mage will still be there to keep you company and to hunt you for the rest of your days. Well, that's it for this episode, and I am absolutely surprised that it reached 2 hours. I wonder how many years it would take me if I did a full script. I don't even want to think about it. I apologize for this unprecedented length of an episode, but as I said before, I really want to get this first playthrough of the glitch tutorial done pronto, so we can begin the new year with a new game bless, if you will, of the glitch tutorial. So, see you all in the final episode of the first playthrough of the glitch tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, have a great life, everyone.
Wait! Don't go in there.
I know what I'm doing.
I suggest you flee this place whilst you still can.
Yeah, right.
Don't go.
Bye.
Don't go in there. Don't go in there.